actually a little bummed, which I might never say again. I thought I was going to wake up with 12 inches of snow on the ground, and it was barely wet. So here we are, no school canceled. We're at work, as scheduled program goes. But thank you again for tuning in to K4CO Radio. I'm joined by the other amazing owner, Joshua. How are you, Josh?
I am doing well. How are you? I mean, you're doing well. There's no snow on the ground, but we're going to be getting some snow on Friday. So
I heard that. Well, it's more when my 6-year-old wakes up and he's like, "Oh, I have to go to school." I'm like, "Yep, it is time for school." So, but we are here, and we have an amazing individual here, and you definitely want to tune in. So, for those of you that are tuning in and listening on the app, thank you for listening. You can also find us live, which is very amazing and wonderful. You can go to our Facebook page at K4CO Radio or our Instagram page at K4CO_radio if you'd like to hear us and see the beautiful faces that are here in the studio today. So without further ado, this guy is amazing. If you own a car, a truck, anything with a motor, anything not with a motor that you want to perform better, you need to definitely take a listen. So we have Harold Kiefer, with the Hitch Corner here. How are you?
I'm doing well today. Thanks for having me.
Good. Thank you for being here. I like it. You're HH. Harold with the Hitch.
There you go. That's what everyone knows. Everyone just calls me H. So it's always easier.
Double H. Well, I like it. Well, thank you for coming in today. We've been looking forward to the interview for sure. Well, give us kind of the broad general strokes, and we're going to go into more specifics for sure, because you offer a whole bunch of really cool stuff. So where's the Hitch Corner? How long have you been doing this? And tell us a little bit about what you offer.
Yeah, so the Hitch Corner has been in business for 35 years now. We're in Littleton off of Kipling and C470, just in the King Carl Business Center. We are your one-stop shop for RV accessories and trailer hitch and towing accessories. We literally can do anything on the towing side, anything on the truck and vehicle side, and then full line of RV accessories.
And your shop is huge. I mean, when I thought about it, I think of, and I'm going to use this wonderful term, the little doodad, the little S silver thing that you hook.
Safety chain?
I told them I was going to embarrass myself. I'm not, that's why you're here.
Right.
When I think about accessories, I think about kind of a small shop, but you offer everything. I mean, it's a large.
We do. My goal is always to get people in the store, because I will talk at the end of this and people will probably still say, it sounds like they do a lot. But if you walk into my showroom, you really do discover how many products we sell, install, and can help you out that much more.
Great. Sorry, Josh, did you have something?
Oh, no, not at all. I'm just kind of enjoying. So I've looked over the website and everything. Once again, I think I may have missed it. How long have you been in business here?
35 years.
35
we started in 1990. We've been in our same building now for 28.
28 years, man.
That is amazing. For those of you that have a computer in front of you, because you really do a whole bunch of stuff. So truly, I'm not kidding with you guys. If you have an RV, a truck, a trailer, a car, a bike, like if you have a fleet of vehicles, I mean, this is your spot. So go to hitchcorner.com and you can find every doodad that you want. I need to get rid of
That's probably the best way to say it.
Any accessory that you want. That's the doodad that's ingrained in me. And you are definitely an expert in your field. You've been around for several decades, so whatever you're doing is working, and people are coming to you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's one of the things we try to do is we try to educate it at a point, especially if we get a new person towing. Inevitably, someone will come to us and say, I just bought a camping trailer I've never towed before. What do I need? And so it's kind of nice. We try to help them out. And I say try because sometimes they're not positive. The dealers are trying to do some things differently, which is good, better, and different. But we're trying to get them what I call the perfect purchase, get them out the door with everything they need to be towing safely. But I also don't want to just say, hey, take this. You might need this down the road, so take this. So we don't really want to just give them anything for any reason. We want to give them the stuff that's absolutely needed. That makes the trip and the towing experience as good as possible.
And I remember my stepfather and my mom, they got into the whole RV world and everything like that, and the fifth wheels, and a lot of learning.
Absolutely.
When you think it's easy when you do it, but then you realize you just come into many, many, many blocks where you really need someone there to help.
Well, the first time you back up, right? If anyone's backed up out there, left is right and right is left.
Yep.
And so it's a whole different game for sure.
It is. It definitely is. They've really enjoyed it too. But then outside of the RV stuff, how many of your customers say, I mean, because Colorado is huge with jeeping, rock crawling, 4x4ing. How much of that is your customers and how much is kind of like the RV kind of setup thing?
Yeah, well, I mean, literally right now, I bet you we do 45% of our hitches solely for bike racks or cargo carriers.
Really?
Yeah, people that will never tow, but they need that hitch. They got to get their bikes to their destination. After that is probably more hitches and wiring. So towing, setting you up to tow like a utility trailer or an RV trailer. And then getting into the heavier duty towing, the fifth wheels and the goosenecks. Followed by probably what's becoming very popular for us is setting up vehicles to be flat towed. So we're probably doing 2 vehicles a week, which to me is amazing still. And that just means people with motorhomes are going to take their vehicle when they get to their destination. They won't have to take their motorhome every place. And then on the vehicle accessory side, we carry everything, but it hasn't been as big for us as we want. We want to extend into those. We wouldn't get into like the rock crawlers. We don't do lifts and that kind of stuff. And there's definitely some specialty guys in town that there's no reason to compete with that. But on the true vehicle accessories, whether it's a bed cover, step bars to get into any vehicle you have, on the SUV or the truck side, grill guards, bumper guards, headache racks.
Headache racks?
So headache racks are the racks that go behind the cab. So guys are throwing, like, especially in the construction business, they're throwing stuff in their bed. They don't want to crack the back window.
Gotcha.
But then it's also generally part of a bigger bed rack so you can put ladders on the top and still have your whole bed back.
Gotcha.
So it won't cause you a headache when you break your truck.
Hence the title, I believe.
I like it. I was going a different direction with that, so I like that.
And do you help out a lot of businesses, fleets with their? Because you mentioned construction.
Yeah, we are definitely. Truly, that's in my networking. That's all I'm looking for. I shouldn't say that, but I want guys with fleets of trucks for sure.
Right.
We definitely have a few here and there. We're always looking for more. Especially some of these companies that are turning vehicles, every 2-3 years. We would love to get more of that for sure.
Right.
But yeah, in the construction, landscaping, roofing, plumbers with we even do upfitting for vans. So like HVAC companies, plumbers with the vans and the big ladder racks on the top where they want to try and lower the ladder so they have to climb on the top to get it down. And so the answer is yes. I mean, there's not much we can't do, but I definitely want to reach out to more.
Right. Gotcha.
It is pretty cool. I mean, you truly can help every single person in Colorado.
Oh, especially it's just as simple as floor liners. I mean, every vehicle can use a floor liner. So yeah, I tell everyone, if you have a vehicle, I guarantee either I can help you or you've bought something that I could have helped you with.
Exactly. If you own a bike, a car, a truck, if you're affiliated with a business that owns trucks, I mean, that covers almost everyone that lives here.
Skier.
Skier,
Absolutely.
exactly.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely correct.
So that's amazing. I love it. It's a good spot. Colorado is a good spot to have this.
We
business.
can't argue for sure. Yeah, no, it's been good for us. So.
That is wonderful.
What are some of the biggest things that people overlook when outfitting vehicles?
Yeah, absolutely. We can go on different levels. When I hear outfitting, first of all, the biggest issue is people will buy the trailer and then get the vehicle, which is generally better because then you're getting things correspondingly. But generally what happens is you get a person that already has a vehicle. Let's say a good example is a F-150 that only has a 5.5 foot bed. Then they go to a show and they buy a big fifth wheel trailer, and they're like, I need to tow this. And we can make it work. It's rather expensive, but it's not the safest. They're just not designed because it's too easy to hit the cab with the trailer on such a short bed. So a lot of it is if people can come to me first and say, this is what I want to do, then we can give suggestions. I would never tell you always buy a Super Duty, always buy a Dodge, but I can at least say, if you can get an 8-foot bed truck, the world's open to you. You can do anything you want on that. On the other side, more for like a bumper pull is people not realizing how heavy trailers are and that you need devices such as like what they call a weight distribution system, where you have bars and brackets that are attached to the trailer that help with distributing the weight between the vehicle and the trailer. and helps with sway control. A lot of people just think, hey, my truck says it can tow 12,000 pounds and I'm going to tow whatever. And it's like, but if you put 12,000 pounds in the rear and the bumper goes to the ground and your headlights are pointing to the sky, it's, not the safest. And the numbers really don't mean what they mean always. So we have to make sure we educate and make safe.
So don't just look at the specs.
Correct. And sometimes the specs really they're difficult to read sometimes. Like a lot of times they'll say 12,000 pounds, but then in little small writing, they'll say with a weight distribution, but no one sees that. So
It'd be really fun though to have your, car pointed upwards.
well,
towards the sky.
and the thing is, your steering wheel, nothing's touching, so you're not turning.
That's
so.
okay. Everyone takes those risks in life, right? The other thing I wanted to mention to people is you all not only sell these accessories, but you all have experts that help install it, which is very, very valuable to someone like me, where I call things doodads when they're actually not, that you have a team there that can help you through every single step.
Absolutely. Well, and even a do-it-yourself that really knows their stuff. Certain vehicles, we can say like an Audi, like a Q7 or a Porsche, where we're dismantling the whole rear just to put a hitch on. Even your regular really good guy is going to have problems getting that done.
Yeah.
And so when we have people that do it all the time, it makes it easier. And then when you get into wiring, you don't want to have issues where you're messing up the computer system of these vehicles. So
That is
so yeah,
true.
I have two great installers in Josh and Brian. They crush it. So
Nice.
they know what they're doing.
Well, I'm
are
sure
super
Josh
names.
does it. I mean,
I was just going to say they were two good names. I felt it coming. How big is your staff there at the Hitch Corner?
So I have my manager Paul, who runs the store very well, and then I've got Josh and Brian, and then I'm there when I need to be. We'll bring in another installer on here in April, probably. Just we let business dictate how much, how quickly I have to do that.
Okay.
And then I've got an IT guy that does all of our admin stuff because we have our own point of sale program that we've created to make it easy for getting pricing for customers and letting them know everything that's included in their installs.
Nice.
The only thing we don't install is RV accessories. We carry a full line. We can get you anything, but that's the only thing we don't install.
Okay, that's good to know. No RV install. Well, my other thing, and I know this is kind of one-off, but this is really cool because when I started, I'm like, you all really sell every accessory you can think of. You also sell plows that you can put on the front of your truck, which is, or your car. Maybe I shouldn't just say truck.
Not a car. Yeah, it would be
Not
a truck.
car?
It would be a truck or an SUV. Yeah.
Come
And that's why we're
on.
here. We're educating right now.
You're telling me I
So-
can't have a bug. See, okay, this is out of my field. So I want a little bug to have a plow on the front. No? Yes? Cool.
Not on the
do it.
Not on the front. There's certain ones. So the plow line we carry, we have two plows. They both go into a 2-inch front receiver. One of them very specifically can be run off the back if you have a 2-inch receiver, but you're backing up a lot. But I have guys that do it, so
This
it's
is
doable.
not me.
But we won't be able to do it on the Volkswagen Bug for sure. But these are just very simple plows. They're not like the hydraulic ones. But the nice thing is they're very effective, very efficient, and because of the lack of weight compared to the hydraulics, you're not beating the crap out of the truck, or, the vehicle. You're not replacing front end components at the end of the season.
Right.
Not so much for a commercial lineman. You don't want to be cranking out, lot after lot after lot with it. But we do our entire lot. We're on a 25,000 square foot platform, and we do our whole lot with ours, and they're impressive.
Yeah.
Again, that's one of those ones. If we have a couple videos on our site, but it's one if you see it in action, you're just like, wow, this thing really does do as it advertised. And I'm like, absolutely.
Nice.
At like a fourth of the cost. So
Exactly. Well, if you're like me and you have an HOA and you think you could do better because I need to get out of my neighborhood effectively, I know you people that are listening can resonate with this concern. It's like, yeah, it's been 2 days and we can't get out. Go to your HOA people and say, hey, you need to call the Hitch Corner because those trucks that you're using, they aren't being productive. So now we need a plow that actually does its job.
there we go. I like it.
So, well, it's true. I mean, if you live in Colorado, you need to be at the Hitch Corner no matter what. I don't know a single person that doesn't have a car, a truck, a bike, a boat. And truly, left means right, right means left. I stink at backing up anyways. I have a very large car. And if the parking lot is empty, I still struggle with parking my car. So when it's me going in reverse with the boat behind me, I mean, look out.
We'll be practicing more for sure.
It takes me a good 30 minutes to get it down the boat ramp. It's okay. And it's good to have the install. because a lot of people are hooking it up themselves, and the wiring, it is required by law.
Absolutely.
So when you signal and you have that big thing behind you, you still need to be able to see the signal.
It's required by law?
I believe so, to
Wait.
communicate with other drivers.
Wait till you go down the highway. Now you start paying attention. Look how many trailers don't have their lights working in front
I
of you.
see it
It's
all
crazy.
the time.
Yes.
It drives me nuts. I'm
Yeah.
like, you have this huge bulky thing, and I don't know where you're going. So,
Yeah, totally agree.
Have an expert. Call Harold, the
That's
Hitch
right.
Corner.
We're here to help.
Yeah, absolutely.
You were also saying right before this interview that nowadays a lot of parts are very hard to find. Now, you guys can find the parts as much as you can, but a lot of times you can't do work on certain gear ranges.
Yeah, I would. It kind of really depends on the line. So meaning like the conversation was on a Land Rover. The more specific you get, and especially with some of the older imports, it can be difficult to get parts for sure. For ours, anything in the last 15 years, there's almost not a vehicle we can't get one for, except for some of the Land Rover is one of them. There's a couple Land Rovers that we're just never going to be able to get. A couple of the strange Mercedes you can't get, especially on the sedan side. We have a lot of people that want to do a bike rack, but some of these, there's a few Mercedes we cannot get a hitch for. There's a couple of Audis we cannot get a hitch for. But for the most part, we can get anything. And if the part exists, we will track it down. So if it's an older vehicle, we'll definitely do the homework, and if it exists, we can get it. So
Right.
Do you have a specific suppliers that you're going to for
yeah,
this?
so our biggest, for the trailer hitch, Kurt, C-U-R-T, Kurt Manufacturing is our number one supplier of trailer hitches, wiring products, and a fair amount of the towing accessories. But then we get into specialties. So like we have, for camper tie downs. So if you have a slide-in camper into a truck, well, then you have to have camper tie downs, and that's going to be torque lift. And then if you have a camper that has a 3-foot overhang, now you have to get some really crazy gigs with a different hitch, very substantial extension. Again, that's torque lift. We have a line of hitches, the Echo hitch, that's designed where you only see the receiver opening of the hitch. We have Stealth, which is a hitch brand that when you're not towing, you don't even see the hitch. The whole receiver drops out. And that's by a brand called Stealth. For gooseneck hitches, B&W is by far the number one brand in the country. And then on fifth wheel hitches, Kurt and B&W are probably our most popular. For flat toes, Blue Ox and Kurt. So we definitely are aligned with a lot of dealers directly. And so we're not committed to one. If someone calls me and says, I would like to do XYZ, then we'll make that work. There's no line. Roadmaster does base plates for flat towing, and if that's what they want, we can get that. We're just not as direct with them. But yeah, there's a ton of brands out there. We haven't even got into truck accessories. We haven't even got into how many different brands there are for that. But
That's good. You have lots of suppliers. So really, it can
Absolutely.
be anyone that walks in.
yeah, and in most cases, we can generally get product in 1 to 2 business days through our distributors, which works out really well.
That's
so
cool.
we stock a lot for sure, especially on the towing side. But when the specifics with truck accessories and some other things, it's nice to have those companies behind us to get us product.
For sure. I mean, especially when you work directly with the supplier, it's nice you can have it in 2 days.
Absolutely.
How often do you have someone like me that would come in and go, help? I have no idea what I need, but here's my vehicle and here's what I want to do.
Have you had someone come in saying, do you carry the S doodads?
I think we had 2 on Thursday.
Exactly. I would show you a picture and be like, I don't know what this is. Do you have it?
No, we get it a lot. Absolutely. And what I find, and I'm not trying to be, I don't want to stereotype anything here. We find women reach out for more explanation than men do, for sure. So like even on our online quotes, easily 75% are women. I hope the men would start to ask more, but I just think a lot of times they're either going to call or come in.
Right.
But when they come in, yeah, we're just, a lot of times we need to see it. So like if you did the little doodad, I'm gonna probably say either send me a picture or why don't you just bring it in, Sarah, so we can take a look at it.
Exactly.
But no, it happens all the time, and that makes our job easier, truly, because now we know exactly now what you are looking for, and now we can solve the problem.
Right.
So.
It
I
is
understand
true.
with men, it's just like, yeah, I got this. I don't need instructions. I don't
Right.
need a
It's
manual or
like,
anything.
it's like directions.
Yeah, it's easy.
Exactly. It's the same thing with accessories. I mean, it truly is, okay, where do I turn? Do I turn left or right? You just turn. You just go there. I'm like, little explanation is always wonderful. Yeah, I bet you have that a lot. But
When it comes to a lot of your accessories, a lot of things that you do carry in the store, is everything that you have on your website? Is it a useful tool or?
I think the website's okay from that perspective. I think we're just trying to give more a generalization, truly.
Okay.
And we actually do have a link to, you can purchase online for RV accessories. We have an RV store and a truck store. It's a third party, and it's not doing as well as I thought, but also when I go on there, it's tough to find product. So that may be going by the wayside. I'm hearing a couple issues with that group that's doing that. So we might take that to the wayside. But it's there. But for the most part, I just try to really show just a lot of the product lines or areas that we carry. And then we encourage, that's why almost every page has a quote, request for quote online. You can get on there. You can call or text us at any time. But if you have something specific, just reach out and we'll get you answers. But I would say the website isn't thoroughly, meaning you're not going to find everything you're looking for on our site by no means.
Right. Well, I would think it'd kind of be almost impossible.
Well,
to
especially,
keep that.
yeah. I mean, I meant to bring in a catalog just so I could show you. I mean, we have a catalog that's probably 900 pages that have every truck and RV accessory. And so I don't care how good your site is, you're not going to find what you need to, even if you knew what you're looking for in some cases.
Oh, good. There's hope for me.
There is.
Yes, there's always hope.
And again, that website is hitchcorner.com. But their direct phone number for any quotes or anything like that, 303-912-0869.
That's my cell phone.
That
Let's
goes
not
to
call
your
that
cell.
number.
Okay.
Let's not call that
Yeah,
one.
now you
Okay.
can, but yeah, so 303-904-1558.
There we go.
And you can call or text that line, which we've kind of made, it seems to make it easier in a lot of cases. So
Very cool. I like when you can text these days.
it's one that we've been working with more and trying to establish if it's, how effective it's been. And it seems it's done well for us. That's something we've been doing for about 3 months now.
Right.
Nice.
Right.
Well, we've covered a lot what makes you unique. I mean, it is truly that you offer so much. You are really a one-stop shop. I mean, we could delve into so many different avenues you're so well versed. Is there anything else that makes you all stand out, that makes the Hitch Corner really unique?
I think we covered it, but I think it's kind of like I was saying, we like to educate. We like to get you the products that make your experience as safe as possible when you're towing. And then third, I think, is that when we install, we're professional with it. We try to do it in as much of a timely manner. So if we tell you it's going to take 3 to 4 hours, we want you out in 3 to 4 hours. And then finally, that one stop, I like at least from my perspective of being able to come in and get everything taken care of at one fell swoop.
Okay. How far out do you advise? If you're going on a trip, let's say this summer, can they schedule something within a couple days? What is that?
Right now we're
time
1 to 2 business days out. When things get hot, so we have the Tri-State Auto Show this weekend, and then we have the March RV show here in about 3 weeks. When that hits, so come April, I would say now you're moving more into the 3 to 5 business days.
Okay. So for all of you that are planning, plan ahead.
Yes.
Because you want the experts. And with all the doodads that you can go buy at another store, they don't install it. I love that you do that. That's a very huge value.
And we will install a product if you bring it to us. We definitely, I don't kid anybody. We give a discount on labor when you purchase the product from us. But if you bring us a part that is designed for the vehicle and it's new, we will install those parts as well. So.
That's pretty amazing. Well, I know. We have so many toys that I can't wait to just come give them to you lovingly and say, make this work.
I like it. So.
Yeah.
You said you have the Tri-State Auto Show coming up. You guys are really prevalent in going to these auto shows. And
this is actually this is the first time I've done the Tri-State.
Okay.
The reason I've done it is the January RV show is more specific now just to Camping World solely. They don't really cater to anybody else. So we've lost out on some options. And so I'm jumping on this one just to see how it goes. But the RV, like the one in March at the end, which is one that happens every year, we're always there because it gets a good turnout. It's just good for us to get in front of the people we know are a given audience for what we're trying to sell and help with.
And where is this show in March, at the end of March?
So at the end of March is going to be at the Convention Center.
Convention Center,
Yep.
Okay. Perfect.
And the Tri-State's at the Stock Show.
Okay. Oh, good. You'll have a lot of people around.
I hope so. Yeah. So
Yeah, those are big spots. And you're super involved in the community. We've had the opportunity and privilege to get to know you, of course, beforehand. And I love that you're very much of a family guy and you're very much involved in different networking opportunities and groups around Colorado. Do you want to go into any of what you're doing in the community?
Yeah, I mean, I belong to the West Metro Chamber. I belong to the Lakewood Business Association, the Applewood Business Association, the Englewood Chamber, and the Glendale Chamber. And so between those, they're just really good networking opportunities for us.
Right.
And that's something been new to me. That's like in the last 6 months, trying to get our name back out there.
Right.
Again, after 35 years, I was a little spoiled, and things have changed a little bit, so we have to get back out there.
They are. We feel your pain. I mean, it's a different world, so you just have to reach out a little bit differently and go where people are going to see you and need you.
Absolutely.
Can I give a shout out to your sons real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just so I can brag on high
Well, I
school
like
and
to
lacrosse.
brag. I like to brag, so yeah,
Do you want to brag about your two
So, well,
kiddos?
yeah. So my older son is a sophomore playing lacrosse at Duke. He tore his labrum last year, so he had a red shirt last year. So he's just kind of getting his feet back. He's suited. He's played in 2 games, and hopefully we'll get some more time. And then I have a junior at Cherry Creek High School who has now committed to play at Hofstra, which is in Long Island. And so, yeah, I've got 2 kids that they love the sport, and as a father gets to brag about it, I love it. I'm the president of the Cherry Creek Boys Lacrosse Booster Club, so that keeps me active and keeps me in the loop all the time. So
Nice.
But obviously I love to brag about them. They're doing great. So.
Oh, it's great. I love how active you are in the community. I mean, that speaks to you as an individual and as a business owner and as a father. So, and as a husband, the whole thing, which is pretty amazing. So yeah, shout out to lacrosse players and CCHS. My mom can feel you. She was a part of the booster club back in the day
Right.
when I was there. So I'm glad that's, strong and living well. So deep roots there. Which is really cool.
Yeah.
It's fun that they're very active.
It is. It's great. Yeah. And it's giving, like, especially my older son, it's giving him the opportunity. I mean, he's smart as a whip, but he still doesn't get into Duke without lacrosse. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Lacrosse opens some doors.
Yes, it does.
At least for me. I was not smart as a whip, and lacrosse was my only saving grace with all of that.
Well, that's awesome. Though. That's what you take. That's what you utilize it for. So.
Exactly. Where do you see the Hitch Corner going? Like, what are your kind of goals? And
yeah, we're in the process of giving serious thought to licensing it throughout the United States. We'll obviously, if we go that route, we'll be starting here in Colorado and just trying to get our legs underneath with that. And hopefully, if it goes, we'll be getting that hopefully by third quarter would be our start. Okay. And we'll see what we can do with it. I think I have a good philosophy behind it, and I think we can help some people do well with that same industry elsewhere. So
yeah, I was curious on the education piece. Have you ever thought about branching out to and collab with that to help educate?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I've given it thought. I honestly don't know where to reach to be honest with you. Yeah. The answer is yes. Absolutely.
Okay.
One thing I just had a boy in yesterday from Dakota Ridge. We might do an internship with him for working at the shop. That kind of at least spreads the word a little bit.
Yeah.
But I've been, kind of intrigued by some of the podcasts, just trying to maybe get on podcasts where I could maybe give some insight on towing for, depending on what the subject matter would be. So
for sure. Well, that hopefully is in our future. We would love to come actually see you guys in action.
Oh, that's a given, definitely.
And install, because the education for me would be astronomical. So I would say, how do you plug in one thing to the other? Like if my battery dies in my car, I'm in trouble.
Right.
So yeah. If anyone else is out there, it's okay. You could admit the truth. I know, I'm minority, but yeah.
Well, you've definitely, we know you're really good at what you do. You've been doing this for a long time. People just coming in, Harold Kiefer, owner of Hitch Corner, which is at 10677 West Centennial Road in Littleton. Kind of near, what is that, like Kipling area?
Kipling and C470. If you know the area, it's off of Kipling and Chatfield. If you know the area really well, we're directly east of the Environmental Test Emissions building for all the people who have to get their emissions done. So
that's a good little thing. Oh yeah, emissions, and look, hey, I should stop over there.
Especially you're waiting. Especially if some of these lines get long, drop your car off there, come check us out, and then get your car when it's done. So.
Exactly. I'm curious, what really got you into this? You've been doing this for a long time. What ignited that?
Yeah, well, my dad owned Denver Trailer Supply way back late 60s up until 1980 when the oil embargo came and no one was towing or doing anything. So he went to U-Haul, became their main hitch mechanic, and I think still was the only one ever to be allowed to actually fabricate and weld for U-Haul. They just generally don't want that to happen. And so in 1990, he decided he wanted to start up again, and I was just graduating from college, so I did, I'd been working with him since I was 17, but I had a software gig with Lucent, so I was doing that while he was getting that started. I was a very silent owner, got closer just because within 3 months, we already had one guy that was embezzling, so we had to get rid of him. And then our third gentleman lasted about just a little over a year, hit some major health crisis. It was just what it is. So my dad was stuck by himself for a little while when I was there on weekends. And then when our Lucent kind of faltered here in the States and had to give up on some contracts, about 94, 95, I was full time. And so it was good. I took us in a direction where my dad would have just done the same every day, whereas we wanted to add. So we picked up bike racks and we started just adding lines and adding a little bit more room so we could show off the stuff. And then in 97, we joined a group and built a building, and we had one of the units, and then slowly bought them all out. And now I have a really good tenant that has half my building, and we have the other half. So it just kind of was on a projection I wasn't quite expecting after graduating from college with computer science, but it is what it is. So
even these bike racks are amazing. I helped my stepfather put on the new bike wraps, and I was insane when I'm used to growing up and just just throw them on the roof and there you go, and not anymore. I take it a lot of that is safety issues.
Safety issues, as well as what still is crazy to me. So if you have a carbon fiber bike, even though like the strongest bike out there, you cannot hang a carbon fiber on their middle bar because it'll crack. So you have to go platform. So it's got to be where the wheels are down and strapped. But the other issue is definitely safety, especially now with e-bikes where they can get up to 80 pounds. Yeah. Exactly. You got to make sure you have a rack that's holding it correctly, securely. Most of in fact, all of our e-bike lines come with a ramp so you can load it. So you're not trying to lift 80 pounds and put it up there. So, so I think more than anything, it's more of ease of hookup, safety, and security. But they're definitely there to make sure your bike makes it to the destination.
Exactly. Especially here in Colorado, we have so many bikes that are going on, and e-bikes are just huge.
It's a huge market, to say the least. Yes, absolutely.
Even tax credits for people buying e-bikes that are going on.
Yeah. So, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. When I was putting it together and everything, it seriously took us quite a few hours just to figure it out.
It can, and depends on the rack too, for sure. Granted, our first time on something will always take a little bit longer, and obviously we're lucky because we have to do it more and more and more. Right. But there are definitely some racks out there that are they're time consuming. There's no doubt. So, and to make shipping easy, everything is disassembled. So.
Right. And when it comes to these different types of racks and everything like that, you pretty much carry all the main brands in shop.
So our we're a Thule reps. That's our number one line, but we're also with Kuat, Swagman, and Kurt. And then just this morning, it was funny, one of our distributors just lined up a deal. Now we're a semi-Yakima dealer as well. So, but yeah, again, through our distributors, if there's like Ceres is one that we don't really do, but some people call and say they want it, and we can get that through in our distributors. Hollywood has another line that we can get. So again, having those distributors, even though they're not direct, we can still get them, which is great. So,
and usually in just a couple business days.
Correct. Exactly.
Perfect.
Yeah. Do you see any way of getting more? Like, is there any resource that you actually don't have? Is there any room to grow with accessories and installing
I think probably more than that would be, I guess, growing like the showroom to show off more. I don't think we'll do that, but that would probably be where you go to. I don't know.
Okay.
But that's, I think we're rather lucky that we have the connections that we have that we can get all those products. Hence the whole idea that I think that's why the licensing thing would work well.
I agree.
With other things. So.
That's amazing. Well, yeah, for those of you tuning in, I'm just going to go through a little bit on what's your website because this is amazing. So we have Harold here with the Hitch Corner. Just go to hitchcorner.com. And for parts, so you have towing accessories, trailer hitches, trailer and accessories, tow bars and base plates, roof racks, camper tie downs, outdoor accessories and cargo management, vehicle accessory add-ons. So if you have anything with 4 wheels or 2 wheels, probably, you can do this. I mean, it's just amazing. And the wiring and the install is really huge. RV accessories, I mean, Truly, I can't imagine someone in Colorado being like, "No, I don't need that."
That's my deal. I get more like if someone says, "I don't think I can use you," and I'm like, "I'm pretty sure I can."
Yeah, exactly. How do you get from point A to point B?
Exactly.
If you are walk
So,
only in this world, maybe, but you still could probably even help pedestrians. I have a feeling.
I bet you there's something we sell that we can. Yes, exactly. So,
Yeah, like a little to lock up your bike.
Like up your bike, we have flashlights. We have. I mean, we get everything. See, so.
Man, you really are a one-stop shop. I really like it. And you said you were looking to possibly grow and add on another staff member in April.
We generally have another, and so just basically we let it dictate by business,
Okay.
just fine. So, and generally that becomes more of a part timer. We back in the day I would always have 2 high school kids that worked for us every year.
Okay.
And they were solid as rock, and then I kind of lost that connection with them, and just never really got that build up again. So that's why it was nice when Dakota Ridge and we kind of hooked up, and we'd like to get that started back. So I think it's a good way to learn. Good for us because these kids want to work hard. They're always great, and then we know they got to go back to school, and so that and that's our big those 3-4 months. That's the big time for us anyway. That's where we need the extra hands, and we'd like to educate the kids and give them some idea of where they might want to go in the future as well. So.
For sure. Well, I want to cast out that net. So if you're looking for employment and you're a high school kid who's ethical and knowledgeable and wants to work with an amazing team and learn about anything to do with accessories and cars, things that go fast,
We definitely do have, and we don't do that. We don't sell that many, but we definitely have a full line of high performance products that we can get for people, like for engine tuning devices and stuff like that. So we don't do a bunch of it, but we can definitely get anything. So.
Nice.
Do you see fifth wheels and RVs increasing? I have actually heard that more and more demand and need is it's slowly raising.
It's actually, from everything I'm seeing, it's actually the sales have gone down. But I just saw something yesterday on RV Pro that said that they think the numbers are going to come up a little bit, but they really have dropped this past year. That's why I also noticed that truck sales are down.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you saw where the RAV4 is now the most popular vehicle in the United States. First time it's ever beat the F-150, and I don't even know what it is now, 25 years or some crazy thing.
Huh.
So
why do you think that those have shifted?
I think gas prices, obviously. I think everything's being affected by gas prices for sure. And I think in most cases, I think a lot of people have gone down in size on the camping a little bit. If you've been camping for a long time, everyone goes up. And then at the very end you do full circle. Then your kids move off and they're done, and then you want to come back down again, that kind of thing. But the RAV4 caught me. That was just a surprise article that I read. I was like, wow, because it caught my attention that it's always the F-150 every year. So
right.
But I think from a true number standpoint, motorhome sales are drastically down. I think that has to do with interest rates as well. It's a combination of everything. Kind of talking back to my dad, when gas gets really expensive, people don't want to travel.
Yeah.
And so there's some fear, I think, and so if we can, I think our prices are pretty reasonable around here. I haven't really traveled much to see what prices are every place else, but I see anywhere from 280 to 320, which I think you can live with at least. So, but yeah, we're hopeful that the fifth wheel market's going to come back big this year. That's our hope. So I'm not sure if the numbers are there to back it or not, but
right. Well, we will see. Right. We are streaming this. If you are listening to our radio station, thank you very much. But now we are streaming everything, video and audio, on all of our social media platforms. We do have a question real quick from YouTube. Instagram, actually, it is. Wanting to learn a little bit more about the Tri-State RV Show, where, when you're going to be there, all of that.
Yeah, so the Tri-State, and I don't know as much about the event itself, 'cause it's the first time I've done it, but it's Saturday and Sunday, and I believe Saturday is 11 to 7, if I remember correctly.
This Saturday.
Yeah, it's this. So yeah, it's this Saturday.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah.
And then Sunday, I believe, is like 10 to 4. So it's not a long show by any means, but it sounds like, I think there's a lot of vehicles there, like I think more like, from my understanding, some hot rods, but it was just one that we wanted to try out. So I don't have great information on that, but
it is at the stock show.
It is at the stock show.
Right.
Yep. We'll see how that goes. We move in Friday morning, so I'll have a better idea of exactly what's going to be in the show on Friday.
Nice. Well, please post. Yeah. So it's Saturday's the 8th. And
Yes,
Sunday's
it's the 8th and
9th.
9th.
8th
Correct.
and 9th.
You're
Okay.
exactly correct.
Awesome. Well, that's coming up soon. That's
Yes.
very, very exciting.
And for all of our listeners too, do know that you can text them and an actual human being will respond.
Yes,
Which-
yes.
Which I love just because these days sometimes it's so impossible just to get a human being on the phone or even online. I was okay with it online when you could message back and forth and it was an actual human being. Now it's all just AI bots and stuff like that. But you can always text any questions, anything that they have, any services that they do to 303-904-1558 or call the same number.
Or if you go to our website, hitchcorner.com, there's a section that you can request a quote online as well. So you can get pretty specific with your questions there also.
Perfect. I absolutely love it.
Yeah. If you need any doodad, can I put that out there? I'll be like, this girl's nuts. Yeah, truly, if you need any accessory, and even those that they might not even be on your website, and you can find it. I mean,
Exactly. I encourage people, if you know something specific you're looking for, reach out to us and ask us. We'll if any of our distributors have it, we'll track it down for sure.
I love it. Well, thank you very much for coming in. We appreciate it. Anything else that we want to make sure everyone knows about the Hitch Corner that maybe we didn't go into
No,
details?
I think we've covered pretty well. Check out the web. I encourage you, if you get a chance, swing into the store. Love you always, to actually check it out. As I definitely brag, that's kind of like a candy store for sure.
Yeah.
And then one thing we do offer is we have an RV catalog that we give out. So it pretty much shows all the parts that we can carry for RVs, and that's to be taken and thrown in your trailer. And when you need something, you give us a call. So
I love it. Well, you are definitely your one-stop shop for vehicle and RVs. And so much more.
It is a kid in the candy store too. It really is. I mean, I've hung out with a lot of auto parts places, especially if they're doing service and everything. Just walking around, they say, "Oh, that's cool. I didn't even know they had that." So they're always coming out with fun stuff.
I agree. And floor mats, I mean, we are full-fledged still in winter. And for those of you that need a plow, I wish I had a plow in front of my car. It'd be awesome. People would stay even further away from me.
You wouldn't use it for just snow.
No, I would not. That's another discussion. Yeah.
awesome.
Yep.
Yep.
Exactly.
We'll get
There
you
we
set
go.
up next year on that one. That'll be our goal.
I
so.
appreciate it. Yes.
Harold Kiefer with Hitch Corner, 10677 West Centennial Road, number 103 in Littleton. This is near Kipling and C470. And you've been in that location for how long again?
28 years.
28 years.
That's
Wow.
incredible.
That's awesome.
You are definitely doing something right. And I think we all know what you're doing right. Like you have all these partnerships, you have suppliers, distributors, great install, great staff.
I think that's the key, is having a great staff. They definitely help to make everything go easier for sure. For the
That's
customer.
true.
So, and for me.
And for you. You're pretty amazing too. So.
Well, you're only as strong and reliable as your weakest installer.
It's so
right?
true.
So,
Absolutely.
and you guys, when you do all the installs and everything like that, you warranty all of your work?
Yeah, so everything is warranted that we do. First, everything starts with the manufacturer. So, for instance, a good example, the Kurt hitch line, that hitch is warranted for as long as you own the vehicle.
Wow.
So if you own that vehicle for 20 years, it's warranted, Now, does that mean if you get rear-ended, does that cover it? No. But, any defects to the hitch, whatever, it's covered. We stand behind everything we do. Basically what I tell people, if you have any issue, you call us. Plain and simple. We're going to make it right. So, if it doesn't turn out to be our fault, we can still repair it, but we'll chat about that at that time. But we definitely want to, we want to see what the issue is so we can resolve it.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
No, I think that's amazing. Yeah, again, hitchcorner.com. And I love that you can text. Yeah, text or call 303-904-1558 for any of your toys and accessories.
And hitchcorner.com. Well, I absolutely love interviews and stuff like that. I can't wait to go check out the shop because we're going to bring our videographer out there and kind of do some interviews there, watch some installations, and I always find that fun. So you're going to be expecting to see some reels on our social media of Hitch Corner. So
I think you'll be impressed. So that'll be good.
Oh,
So,
me too. We're gonna have to put a little warning. Do not do this. Yeah, exactly. Don't do this.
Do not
at
attempt
home.
this at home. Yeah, so-
exactly. Leave it to the professionals. I need to remind myself that too. I love the do-it-yourself kits. Oh my gosh, so aggravating.
I
to
am
me.
curious.
Like,
What are some of the biggest things when it's someone who tried to do it themselves, attempted to do it themselves when it comes to your business?
I mean, that definitely happens. Our bigger one right now is just as there's a couple groups out there that are just undercutting everybody at stuff they sell. But then people say, okay, that's a great price. They buy it, and then they realize they can't install it.
Right.
That's really our bigger one for sure. Now, that being said, we've definitely had guys attempt, like a good example, we had one gentleman that tried to install a base plate at the front of the vehicle to be flat toed and literally butchered the whole car, where we had like holes that were drilled the wrong places. And so that was a chore to get rectified, to say the least. So, but at the same time, I will never lie. What we do is not rocket science. I mean, if you truly follow the instructions and you're very mechanically inclined, you can do anything we do. It's just the fact that we do it a lot and we know how to do it.
And repetition is perfection.
And we just make sure that there's no shortcuts.
Right.
So
Right.
that's really the big point. So
Exactly.
You're very humble. No, the truth is, Sarah, don't do this. Leave it to the professional experts.
Well,
to
we would
do
definitely
it.
prefer that in a heartbeat for sure. Because I know
me
you'll leave with what you need.
Exactly. I don't want. There's a reason I don't do it. I would butcher it, and I would cry, and it would take me way longer to do it, and I do it wrong. So
Do it wrong, and
I
then you come to
wanna
us,
do
and
it-
then it's more, and then it becomes more expensive in the end anyway. So,
exactly.
yeah,
Leave
so.
it to the professionals.
Well, and you can buy something from somewhere for a much lower price and everything like that. But if you buy it from them, you get a discount on the install, and you get the professionals actually doing it. So you're not. There's no guesswork.
Exactly.
I agree. I put on my ski rack, and that's supposed to be easy.
But it can be a chore though. Still, I agree. So
Man, I did it incorrectly. on
Especially
my
with
last
these
car.
e-bike, these really strong
on the bike rack side for sure.
Yeah,
The I'm glad you mentioned that, the heavy ones. I was talking about that a couple of days ago, that they really are heavy. 80 pounds
80 pounds, yeah, exactly.
is pretty significant.
And there's
If-
only, as we speak right now, there's only 2 racks that can handle that kind of weight. Most are in like the 70s. So a lot of times we have to encourage, customers, pull the battery just when you're putting it on the rack. Just leave it off until you get your destination, then put the battery back in. So, just little, again, those are just little things to,
Well, that
you can take
when-
advantage of make everything still work that you have. So,
Exactly. Things that the everyday person wouldn't think of.
correct. Exactly.
Yes. Well, thank you again. So we've had Harold here with Hitch Corner, hitchcorner.com, 303-904-1558. And yeah, definitely your one-stop shop. So thank you again for coming in.
Well, I appreciate you having me. I think it's
fun.
great. So
Oh, we love it.
I
This
will
is so
say I
cool.
didn't realize we were live until I saw the Instagram post a little earlier today. I was like, oh, I better be
We like to
ready.
surprise people. No, authentic. You show up as is, and
Yeah,
that's
so-
exactly.
And you dressed up perfect
Well, I
for it.
tried. Yeah, see?
Exactly.
So, yeah, so.
Yes. Go to the Hitch Corner.
Please
I love
do.
it.
Yes.
Very cool.
And if you did catch this a little late, you want to kind of look over the interview. It is on YouTube under our live feed. It also stays on Facebook as well. And stay tuned on K4CO. We're even adding some more social media outlets because I didn't even know half of these ones. I still don't. My nieces can probably tell me all about them. So, but definitely check out K4CO Radio YouTube. And the full interview will be on there and all the information. If you do have any questions at all, make sure to call, text 303-904-1558 or go right to their website, hitchcorner.com. So thank you very much. We really appreciate it.
I appreciate it as well. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Stay tuned. We're going to have an afternoon mix of music coming at you right here. And thank you very much for listening to K4CO Radio. Have a great rest of the day. Take care.